and you are not doing, you're not enjoying it, you're only doing it to please her, but you are actually repulsed by the aspect, then it's you wasting your time, because this is an intelligent. It knows, you see what I'm saying, when you're not enjoying it. So the whole concept here is, but one of the best ways to do it is when you shave. It's called, she said, I am Isis. No one has lifted my veil. Lifting the veil is when you shave. When you shave. Now, you can leave your little patch of hair up here if you don't want to look like a, now, because now, hell, you see them pornos, man, they be looking like newborn babies and shit. But why did the porno industry start doing shaved hair? You see what I'm saying? Because they understood, it cuts down, because what happens here is the smell is coming from the veil, because the veil is the dumping ground of toxins. So if you eliminate that, it automatically shuts that pump off. And you become pure, and I'm telling you, there is absolutely no smell. There's absolutely no smell. You see, we don't know that now because we ain't on the cutting edge of sexuality, because we're not a free people. White people are a free people. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, they explore things and they're exposed to more things than we are, and we're not free for the simple fact that we're still in fundamentalism and we're still in all kind of idiosyncrasies based on slavery. You see, despite what they are and crazy what they are uninhibited and stuff like that, because they're the ones that rule the world, so therefore they define what freedom is. Whereas our freedom is defined by religion, defined by family, or defined by neighborhood. You see what I'm saying? But but as far as their freedom is something else. You see. So I'm on the plane. Black woman step up to me, white woman step to white people. Oh, God. Oh, that's nice you got on. Black girl, she the flight attendant. She goes, is that a bug? I'm like, scared. Is that a bug? Because they got more exposure. You go on the job, all the black people wearing crosses, all the white people wearing arms. You see? You see, so my point here is exposure. And so whenever we see this stuff, we say, oh, that's freaky, that's crazy, or whatever and stuff like that. We ain't exposing nothing. And what it is they have studied the ancient art of Tantra. They've studied these particular things, so they know, you see what I'm saying, that all that stuff we invented. It's just like the whole thing when it came down to oral sex, as far as, we thought that was a white invention, but what we didn't realize is the British conquered India in the 1800s or whatever, or 17, late 17, 18, I don't know, it was a minute, and they got a hold to the Kama Sutra, and it became a popular book in India. So they saw them going down on each other in the Kama Sutra. They started doing it. So when we saw white people, we said, well, white people invented that. No, the Africans invented that shit. You see what I'm saying? So now, so the key here is when you approach this great goddess, and you fall in love with this goddess, and you enjoy doing it that way. You see what I'm saying? And this is not nothing that you got to prove. No, I'm talking about it's a letdown if you don't do it. As a result, you become in sync, and then she starts emitting these collars. So once you start emitting these collars, you can have sex with the tallywhacker, the dipstick, the Johnson, and if she's emitting these collars just flowing, the penis absorbs it. But when the penis absorbs it, you can't give it away by ejaculating, because it all pulls out. So what happens here is you start learning how not to ejaculate. Ejaculation and orgasm is two different things. Women orgasm, men have to learn how to orgasm. Two different neurological functions. You see, after a while of not ejaculating, you start orgasming, and ejaculation becomes a letdown. It becomes a letdown. It's just that we train as a child because we come from an ignorant, not black people, but just the Western person. We follow him. Just like we only use 2% of our brain because he used 2% of his brain and he rules the world. So he's got us on a 2% thing, and anything beyond 2% they say you crazy. Let me give you an example. I had a niece graduate high school this past May, and these high schools now they have it in the big Georgia Dome. They have it in the football stadium. 2 or 3 schools schedule the same day and stuff, you know. And you can tell this is the age of all these names: Bonquisha, Aisha. You see what I'm saying? Travante, Dante. I mean, so they had it in the Georgia Dome, and where was I going with this? I don't want to lose my. 2%, yeah, the 2%. Okay, I'm coming. There was something really good connected to this. There was something really good connected to this and stuff. I'm gonna have to come back to it. I didn't let that damn Bonquisha motherfucker. The toe out. But anyway, it's gonna come back to me. It's huh? Yeah, my niece. She graduated, but it was something that happened in the Georgia Dome. It'll come back to me in a minute. Huh? No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. Let me go back to this tantric thing. Okay. Let me go back to this tantric thing. Once she starts to emit these collars, these lunar fluids, and you don't ejaculate, what you start doing is how you create a makeshift vagina. Not in the physical sense, because that can't happen, but as far as the way energy flows, is when you start, when you put your arrow, that's what Oshosi, the arrow, Rama, the arrow. You see what I'm saying? These particular ones, when you put your arrow in, or your sword, you see, what happens is if you don't ejaculate, what starts to happen here is, because what she is, she sucks in, she's negative, not in the negative sense of what you think of it. ACDC, negative, positive. Your arrow is positive. She is negative. So she sucks in, and if you ain't careful, she gonna get all of your energy, all your essence, all your sperm. Okay. So now, if you learn how to not ejaculate, your penis starts to suck in. Just like the vagina. And what happens here is it starts to suck in collars, because the vagina knows when this person is trained and is not ejaculating. So you start to suck in the actual collars. And these particular collars that that sucks in, what happens here is it's this force of energy. And so, like I said, and this wasn't even by the oral thing, this was just by regular sex, but it was so used to having the non-ejaculation, to what happened was, after she left, didn't ejaculate, I was in my house and I didn't know where the hell I was, in my own damn house. I didn't know where I was in a whole nother dimension. You see what I'm saying? In my own house. So, this is this particular power, but one of the keys here is it has to know that you are into this and not necessarily doing this and stuff here to please somebody. You have to fix it in your mind that you are kneeling before the goddess. Yeah, it's literally a mentality. It's literally a mentality. Now, how the woman benefits from this on the melanin thing is the man not ejaculating. Then what starts to happen here is this. You with a mate. You've been with this mate a while. Everything down here has its seasons. And when the shit burn up, it burn up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You'd rather go eat some ice cream than to do it. Especially, but if you stop ejaculating and you taking her essence and she's giving her essence, because she's the source and the fountain of youth, and the pool is built up. She is the source of all this, so you can't deplete her. And you start to take her essence, and what happens here is this: you will not be able to keep your hands off each other. Because the only reason why you know how you get mad at her after you bust your nut, you be like, you don't want to touch her. Right? That's because she got your shit. You see. So this is another part of the melanin. You see. So these collars. Now the thing about it here is not even just the oral sex, just being with a woman sexually. Even with your dipstick, that's been with a lot of women, been with a lot of men, that's one of them Freudian things. That women shit got in there first. That might be another lecture in another time. Because us porno people, that shit in the home. You go right ahead, baby. Shoot. How you think a lot of black men get turned out? She come over, white girl, she come over with her girlfriend. 2 for 1, next thing this nigga gone. I'm serious. How you think I'm telling you some mysteries. How they get, you say, what is the secret of this white girl? The white girl bring her girlfriend over too. And the girlfriend look better than her. It's on. I'm just telling you how niggas get turned out. You see, so just give me one of them secrets. This is one of the brothers from Detroit told me how, how they do it. And he said she probably never brought her girlfriend over. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to get into that stuff like that. All this stuff here is science. If you don't look at this shit as moral, I'm gonna be honest. Being moral ain't never got you shit. Your children locked up by the millions, and you've been worshiping Jesus. You see what I'm saying? But this is the key. But this is the key. When it comes to this particular energy, the more men she's been with. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I know a lot of guys. They would never admit it. But you know what I'm saying? They like a good hoe. They've been trained to go on, you see. Me, and so, okay, I'm going to tell you a little secret. I had Ginger. Now, Ginger was Ginger. When I first started lecturing, I started lecturing at age 30. The Spirit said, look, you're getting ready to get caught up because the women are going to come after you like crazy. Sure enough, the third lecture, 2 sisters came up and they said, we're ready to follow you to the Star Sirius. So what happened was, you see, I'm telling you that Martin Luther King thing and all that stuff about that. Something about a man speaking. So what happened was, I was with Ginger for about 7 years because they sent her to block. She was 11 years younger than me. She didn't want no children. She was still in school. You see what I'm saying? So she was too young for what she was trying to do, and they sent her to block, and she was with me for 7 years. When she left, all the babes that it was in my line of sight was in their 40s. They had already had the children. You see what I'm saying? They had already had the children and stuff. So it shifted. When I was in my early 30s, all of them was coming childbearing realm. I couldn't have no children. Hell, I lectured for fucking 9 years on damn $300 a lecture. You see what I'm saying? I was literally a pauper. But I had to get this, and I knew that if I had them children, that shit would be over. A little bit of child support, it was over. But I knew at 30, I wasn't supposed to have children. So they sent her as a young girl to block. So when and one day we just woke up, and I said, you ready to go? She said, yeah. I say, it's all good. And we sitting in the house laughing, and people all down the East Coast, oh, this is so bad, y'all break it up. We laughing and shit. I said, my mama told me when I first took, she said, that goddamn young ass girl gonna leave you, nigga. The year after we hooked up, a psychic said, y'all just gonna be together for, so we already knew it. So the day she said, the day she said, and what happened was I was vegetarian for about 4 years. Then we got back on the meat. Oh, it was pleasure. Then she went back to vegetarianism, and my boy came down from South Carolina. He said, y'all ain't gonna be together long. He said, because as soon as that eating shit break up, that's a social thing. He said, y'all ain't gonna be together long. And a week later, we knew that it was over. So, I was in that realm of the 40 plus. I was 38. Going 40, I turned 40, so all of them was 40 and 50. Now, they was out of the childbearing thing. They was out of the childbearing thing, you see what I'm saying? So, we used to get together, and this was when I knew something. We'd be in bed, and the question was, because see, most men don't want to hear this. Like Chris Rock said, how many men you been with? She said, well, two. I guess that's how you raised. They don't want to hear that. My desire was, well, how many men you was with? And the higher the count, I was most fascinated. Then I met up with one that had been with over 50. I had met with one that had been with over 50. And she gained the most power. Let me tell you how powerful she is. She got access to the heaven realm. And so gods like Legbar, Baron Somdi, they come and screw her on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? On a regular basis. And stuff like that. Why? Because she had raised herself. See, here it is that the spirit telling you to be promiscuous, to be shut down, chastity. But yet the ones that has gone to that particular level of promiscuous is up there with the gods screwing. You see what I'm saying? And so all she had to do was get on some lingerie and lay on the bed, and here they come. All the gang. All the ones that tell you not to have the sex. They partying down. You see, so I'm just trying to say, I'm trying to give you some concept on these things. If you look at these things as energies and not moralism. You see what I'm saying? And not moralism. You see, real powerful information. If you look at it that particular way, but that's one of the ways to do this type of thing. But another, so for the man also to be beneficial to the woman, if he don't ejaculate, then she gets the benefit. Let me tell you why. Once you enter into that and you become that vampire, like Dracula, and you suck in them energies, the love, every last one of them you be with will be in love with you for the rest of their life. Because you have sucked in a part of them, you see what I'm saying, and you didn't let it go. Because what happened is so many ejaculate, you start hating the person. But that stuff that you suck in, those energies, they're in you for life. So they're in you for life. So these people be in love with you for life. You see, so I had a hiatus about 4 years between Linda. You see, so it's Ginger, then it was about 4 years between Linda. Between Linda and all, and in that particular time and stuff like that, I mean, it was real powerful. But now Linda is deadly. She's the kind. She's actually one of them Hecate figures because she's Scorpio. Hecate is Scorpio and stuff. So she is a demon. You see what I'm saying? In the particular aspect of, let's put it this way. She wanted she was supposed to get, I don't know what it was, they told her to get some kind of, I don't know, it was ice cream or something. She went to the supermarket and didn't get it. And then got mad and a tornado happened. You see, so she's a Kali type figure. You see. So, they like that and stuff, so. But with me, but I wasn't that kind of person anyway. If I got with a person, I didn't really mess around. You see what I'm saying? Even between my other previous one, but that little hiatus in between, you see what I'm saying? And if she didn't come, I was going to put a whole nother crew together. And she came and stuff like that. But the point, so there's cycles when you do certain things. But we had to learn about these particular energies and stuff like that. But they be in love for life. You see what I'm saying? Because you done pulled, you got a part of their essence in you for life, in the cells and stuff like this. So there's a whole sexual ecology going on. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of that has to do also with melanin. You see, it has to do with melanin. Let's go into a little quick question and answer. I'm going to say this here part 2. This book here, Embodying Osiris. Now, I came and I produced a book back in 99. It was a pamphlet on how to eat black people or how to get their energy. And they was explaining in here that the Native Americans, there was a movie called Ravenous came out. And basically, if you can get that person and eat a part of that person, you become superhuman. And it's called Pasquati in Native American. Come to find out, they got texts that the shit was started by the Egyptians. Now, the white man used this text they used this text and flipped it around. It's on the Science Channel or the Green Channel or one of them on how Egypt fell. They were talking about the old kingdom. They said that the Egyptians started eating their children. See, they will take lies like that and they'll flip it around. This book tells the story on the document on what used to happen. That the pharaohs, at a certain time around Pharaoh Pepi, they had to outlaw this military practice. This book is called Embodying Osiris by Thom. That's Thom, Thom, F period, Calvalli, Cavally, Thom F. Calvalli, Cavally, PhD. This is called Embodying Osiris, The Secrets of Alchemical Transformation. In here, let me see the page. Thom is called Embodying Osiris. Thom, Thorm, F period, Calvalli, Cavalli, PhD. I think it's on page 30 to 31 or something like that, cannibalism. And what they were talking about, the Egyptians weren't cannibals. The Egyptian, the high priest understood that they wanted to win a war. You would cut a piece of that person's body off and eat it. You become superhuman. Just like Dracula. Where all this shit come from. And you can win the war. We don't know, but maybe that's how the British took the world. There was a book out on, this book tell you all the stuff on how to rule a person. How you take a person's essence, they tell you how you go to church, get a person to singing and praying, and you get all that energy. You get all that energy from them people. You go into their core. It's a book called An Age for Lucifer. You got that? An Age for, I don't know the author, but they go into all this stuff how you teach. You get a person energy, you send their ass to church, they start jumping around getting the Holy Ghost, and once their essence come open, you can steal that. That's why the white man got you in church every Sunday. Didn't take your money, put it in his banks, and won't give you a motherfucking loan. Sporting events and all that. There's a book called An Age for Lucifer, and it tell you how to damn rule the world by taking people's energy.